The wealthy Burns wanted to steal a copper coin from the wishing well, but he fell into the wishing well.
Help me! Help me!
Burns was about to drown. At that moment, Homer rescued him to repay Homer. Burns promised Homer he would give him a surprise. He would pick up Homer at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Now Burns wanted to take that copper coin.
Got it!
See you at 5 then.
The next day, Homer got into Burns' luxury car. Burns invited Homer to eat his favorite Chicago pizza. He was going to take Homer to Chicago.
Drive to Chicago? I don't have time for that.
Who said anything about drive?
Private jet!
So they arrived at Burns' private jet. The plane not only had exclusive seating, but also beautiful flight attendants serving meals. After dinner, they could drink fine wine and watch TV. Burns even invited a famous singer to perform on the plane. After the plane landed, Homer was reluctant to leave the aircraft. Seeing this, the captain called for an extraction machine. The machine transported Homer from the private jet to Burns' luxury car.
Oh, hush. Now let's enjoy the Miami of Canada. Chicago!
Next, the two enjoyed a wonderful Chicago trip. They first went to get their hair done. Then they watched an improvisational performance where the audience provided the plot. The play created by Homer and Burns was loved by many audience members.
Why are you applauding them? We wrote it.
In this way, the audience escorted Homer and Burns to the private jet. After Homer bid farewell to the audience, he left Chicago on the plane. The next morning, Homer was delivered to his doorstep by the extraction machine. Marge opened the door for Homer. Homer described the private jet experience to her. Marge was envious of him, but Homer was sad because he realized he would never have the chance to fly on a private jet again. From then on, Homer had no interest in doing anything. When the kids greeted Homer, he remained immersed in sadness. At this moment, a man appeared. This was Colby, an expert Marge found for Homer.
He'll get you back on a private plane in no time.
But Homer didn't trust any psychotherapists or motivational speakers.
I'm a life coach.
Oh, tell me more.
First, Homer needed to thoroughly examine his life. He wanted to teach Bart a lesson before the camera started rolling.
No.
Colby needed Homer to do some things he would normally do. Homer didn't know what he normally did either. Colby decided to document a day in Homer's life. In the morning, Homer was too lazy to even put on socks because he didn't want to take off his socks. Colby thought Homer's behavior was that of a loser. To prove he was a winner, Homer started putting on socks.
Think positive, think positive.
Colby suggested Homer not go downstairs while putting on socks because one can only do something well by concentrating.
Never don't concentrate.
Will you shut up? I can't hear the song in my head.
Homer always failed at everything in life, but it was different when he picked up a bowling ball. Colby thought Homer needed to be in daily life, just like he was at the bowling alley. His solution was to have Homer wear bowling shoes all the time. Homer also thought it was a good idea. Homer wearing bowling shoes really improved his work efficiency. Through Colby's promotion, many companies sent Homer interview invitations.
How many of those have private planes?
This one.
This aircraft company needed a quality inspector to ensure Homer could focus on this new job. Colby helped Homer quit his original job. Homer went to the new company for an interview. The boss really liked Homer.
If you can write your name so I can read it, you're in.
But Homer wasn't hired. To keep his family from worrying, Homer could only pretend he had found a job. The next day, the whole family came to the door to wish Homer well on his first day of work. But Homer could only spend the day at a burger restaurant. He asked the staff for all the mazes in the restaurant to pass the time. But all these mazes were the same.
Somebody's got to do them.
But lies always get exposed eventually. During a school field trip, Bart discovered Homer at the burger restaurant. Homer quickly hid in the ball pit.
I know it's you, Homer. Why aren't you at your new job?
Homer explained that he actually hadn't found a job. He had a great conversation with the boss on interview day. But regarding professional knowledge about the job, Homer knew nothing.
Come on, say you're hired.
No.
Homer tried to force the boss to hire him and was ultimately kicked out. Bart told Homer he must tell Marge about this because Marge thought Homer could make a lot of money. She had replaced all the household items with those used by wealthy people.
Hello?
Homer needed to tell Marge something. Marge immediately sensed it was bad news.
No, it's good news.
Really?
Homer lied to Marge that the company invited him and Marge to take a private jet to New York for a meeting. Homer gave all his money to the pilot. This money would allow the two of them to fly around once. Homer planned to tell Marge the truth on the plane. At that moment, the plane suddenly hit turbulence. Homer went to the cockpit and discovered the pilot was actually drunk. He decided to pilot the plane himself.
What's the ocean doing in the sky?
At At this critical moment, Marge thought of life coach Colby, but Colby didn't have time right now. Marge promised to give all her money to Colby. She hoped Colby could encourage Homer. Colby asked Homer what happened.
I'm trying to land a plane with no experience.
After hearing it, he admitted he was a fraud and probably couldn't help Homer, but he suggested Homer look ahead. Unexpectedly, this actually helped Homer avoid the airship in front. Although Colby didn't understand planes, he understood Homer. So Colby prepared to insult Homer to stimulate his potential.
So you'll land that plane. And do you know why? Because I heard some guy say you couldn't.
What? I'll show him. I'll show that guy.
To prove his ability to Colby, Homer actually managed to land the plane successfully.
You landed a jet!
Now to taxi to the terminal. Go!
When Homer was rescued by helicopter, he had figured out how to explain to Marge. Although working on planes was good, it was too dangerous. So Homer planned to return to his original workplace.
I understand, homie.
90-year-old Bart looked at the photo in his hand. He recalled the wonderful week he had spent on the luxury cruise ship. The cruise ship was as beautiful as heaven. Bart first played the racing game, then he reached the reptile exhibition hall through the rock climbing game. With the help of a magician, he went to the basement to set off fireworks. Next, Bart was blown upstairs from the flight training room. He slid all the way down the stair railing to the cowboy game. Bart was very satisfied with life on the luxury cruise. His sister Lisa also loved it here. Lisa made many friends. Two sons of diplomats both wanted to date her. At dinner time, the family met at the dining table. Bart's parents also enjoyed life on the cruise ship, but soon, this happiness would be shattered. The host told everyone to enjoy the 7-day happy journey. Everyone was very happy, but Bart suddenly panicked. He rushed out of the banquet hall. Bart realized that the cruise trip would come to an end someday.
No matter how much fun I cram into this cruise, it only lasts a week.
Bart thought about his life before the cruise trip began. He repeated the same things every day. Even when he grew up, school would just turn into work. Until one day, Bart saw an advertisement for a luxury cruise on TV. A boring life could become rich and colorful because of a luxury cruise. Bart was very excited after watching it. He immediately went to his parents to discuss going on a luxury cruise. But the family's money had already been spent by Homer on drinking. Bart decided to figure out a way himself, but the ticket price was very expensive, so he decided to sell everything in his room to save up money for the luxury cruise. But Bart still couldn't gather enough money for the luxury cruise. Marge felt sad seeing Bart's lonely figure. The next day, Bart found that his money jar was full. To fulfill Bart's wish, the family members sold their valuable belongings and gathered enough money for the luxury cruise.
It's weird to hear myself saying this, but I love you guys. This is gonna be the best vacation ever!
Yes.
The memory ended. Bart worried that after the cruise trip ended, he would return to the boring life of going to school and doing homework every day. Bart believed his life would keep going downhill from then on. He imagined what he would look like before he died.
Only good week of my life.
Bart wanted this cruise trip to never end. At night, people held a party on the cruise ship. Lisa and the diplomat's son were watching the stars. Homer and Marge were enjoying a romantic date. Suddenly, an alarm sounded. An emergency military notice appeared on the screen. The deadly Pandora virus was spreading rapidly on land. This virus was highly contagious with a high mortality rate. The passengers on the cruise ship were the only humans who had not been infected. To preserve human civilization, the passengers had to stay on the ship. After the emergency notice ended, the passengers instantly panicked. Bart was happy to see this. The emergency notice he had just played was a clip from a movie. Now, he was going to destroy the communication equipment that connected them to the outside world. The cruise host gathered people for a meeting. They were now unable to contact the outside world. To avoid infection, all passengers had to stay on the ship.
We're stuck here!
Woo! Vacation forever!
12 days later, the luxury cruise had become very rundown. The ship was piled with human garbage. The recreational facilities on the ship had also become dilapidated. The captain could only numbly steer the ship at sea. The host encouraged everyone through the broadcast to create a new human civilization in virus-free Antarctica. Living resources were now becoming scarce. The passengers could only eat seagulls, barnacles, and jellyfish to fill their stomachs. The stand-up comedian was even worse off. He had already told his jokes many times. No audience was there to cheer him on. The luxurious spa center had also been turned into a cult by the lifeguard.
Mankind was warned not to run near the pool. Mankind did not listen. The virus is his reward.
The children could no longer find fun on the cruise ship. Money was useless in their current life. But Bart was still immersed in happiness. He encouraged his parents to enjoy the wonderful life on the cruise. But the cruise was no longer wonderful. The waiters no longer served the passengers.
Drop dead, fat ass!
Bart believed that as long as everyone stayed on the cruise, they would always be happy. But Lisa thought the passengers on the ship were the only surviving humans. Now all the children were working hard to document human civilization. They would also rehearse plays to entertain future survivors.
Can't anybody enjoy their forever vacation?
Bart still wanted to make his family laugh with funny drawings, but Marge said they had to watch the video now. Lisa turned on the TV, which was playing the fake footage Bart had made.
Bart, how could you? Gotta go.
Bart tried to escape, but was blocked by Homer. Homer had just returned from the gladiator arena. He had won the last hot dog, but it was taken away by someone.
There is no virus. Bart faked the whole thing with a DVD.
Marge took Bart to the cruise director.
Speak, passenger, son of passenger.
It was all a hoax. There's no virus.
Bart explained that the emergency notice was a movie. The passengers surrounded the entire Simpson family. Lisa's 2 boyfriends also broke up with her. Bart thought he had just extended everyone's vacation, but this made people even angrier. No matter how much Marge pleaded, the Simpson family was still thrown onto an Antarctic ice island. Homer still wanted back the beer and perfume he had bought.
My booze and cologne!
The family could only walk on the ice island. Bart kept apologizing to his family.
Ow! That one really hurt. Sorry, sweetie. I just needed to get that out of my system.
Lisa thought this was Bart's most selfish prank ever.
I wasn't being selfish. I did it for you guys too. Lisa, you made friends with kids just like you. Mom and Dad, you were more happy and in love than I ever saw you.
But Homer still wanted to strangle Bart with his frozen hands. At that moment, Lisa saw a group of penguins. There were penguins of different ages here. They could watch how penguins lived their entire lives here. Bart thought it was completely meaningless for penguins to work hard to raise a baby penguin, only to watch the grown penguin cause trouble.
The penguin's life isn't all bad. Those ones are having a blast.
Bart thought this slope was like life on the cruise ship.
A short, awesome thing that shows you how boring the rest of your life is. Well, sure, life is full of pain and drudgery. But the trick is to enjoy the few perfect experiences we're given in the moment.
Homer agreed. He told Bart to learn to enjoy happiness in the present moment. The family members also slid down the slope together with Bart.
What a great ride.
What happens if you drink a soft, gooey substance?
Whoa, that's good squishy. What's it like, Bart?
After drinking it, Milhouse also becomes incredibly hyper. Now full of energy, Bart and Milhouse spend a wild night together. When Bart wakes up the next morning with a splitting headache, he has completely forgotten what happened the night before. When Lisa pulls back the blanket, Bart discovers that he has joined the Boy Scouts. After arriving at school, Bart prepares to return the uniform.
You're lucky. You only joined the junior campers. I got a dirty word shaved in the back of my head.
What is it with you kids and that word? I'm going to shave you bald, young man.
Principal Skinner immediately takes Milhouse away. Nelson snatches the bag from Bart's hands, sees the Boy Scout uniform inside, and immediately mocks and teases Bart. But Bart doesn't care at all.
Yeah, whatever. You better pretend you want your uniform back, twerp. Keep away! Keep away! Oh no, woe is me, my precious uniform.
In class, the teacher suddenly announces a pop quiz. However, the Boy Scouts are exempt because they have a troop meeting.
Mrs. Krabappel, I'd love to stay, but this uniform carries certain responsibilities. Hey, look! Sergeant Dork! Enjoy your test.
When Bart opens the door to the meeting room, he discovers that the Boy Scout leader is none other than Flanders. Flanders assigns Bart his first task, giving an old man a bath. When Bart passes out, Flanders has the other scouts give Bart CPR, which immediately startles him awake.
Should I keep doing it?
Flanders' boring content makes Bart fed up, and he gets up to leave. But then he suddenly remembers that Boy Scouts are allowed to use knives.
You guys get to play with knives? Oh, cool, a spark. Don't hurt me.
However, there's one condition before using a knife. Bart must read a book about knife safety. He leaves the classroom, disappointed, but everything he encounters seems to be related to knives.
Oh, hi, Bart. I'd gladly share these sweet cookies with you if only you would help me remove this ribbon. Here's a knife. Oh, thank you. Now let's all share the goodness. Share this.
A doctor finds a patient with appendicitis on the roadside. Fortunately, the doctor has brought his trusty little knife.
Stand back.
Thank you, Dr. Hibbert.
Don't thank me. Thank the knife.
Bart is desperate to use a knife, so he goes home and starts studying hard. Soon after, he passes the test. One day, the Boy Scouts are going on a father-son rafting trip. If Bart brings Homer, they're sure to make fools of themselves. But Bart tells Homer about the activity anyway.
You don't have it, son.
Look, Homer won't want to go, so just ask him and he'll say no. Then it'll be his fault.
I don't want to go, so if he asks me to go, I'll just say yes.
Dad, I really want you to come on this trip with me.
Bart, I'd be delighted to go on your trip with you.
When they arrive at the destination, the fathers need to pair up. Homer silently prays not to be partnered with Flanders, but in the end, only Flanders and Homer are left. During the rafting trip, Bart works alongside Flanders as if they were real father and son. This stirs up Homer's jealousy.
You are not my son.
What happened to that gosh darn map I brought?
I don't know. But lucky for you, somebody here is responsible.
Homer finally gets a chance to prove himself. Just as they approach a fork in the path ahead, Homer